going to cost a lot of money. Yeah. $6,000. How about $50? I love that. Dollar. All right, let's roll, hey?
Let's do it.
First on the team
It's great to have you with us.
from Memphis, Tennessee.
Get your VCRs ready. Get your VCRs ready.
Make it squeal like a pig, Johnny, squeal like a pig.
Big John Daly.
G'day everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Preferred Lives podcast, the home of good golf and better chat. My name's Nick, I'm your host, and joining me tonight we've got two of the greatest lads to ever be lads. To my left, Mr. Simwu Lee. How you going, Bruss?
Happy rugby league, Nick.
Happy rugby league indeed. And to my right, the blue fiend himself, Mr. King. How are you, sir?
I'm happy rugby league as also.
Happy rugby league. Boys, King, you did a bit of behind the scenes and you put up an episode on YouTube the other day.
I did, yeah, that's right.
So check us out. We had a fair bit of traction on the link, so you can now watch us. So when we do dumb shit with our hands, you can see the dumb shit we do, and instead of just hear about it. So maybe go back. We just thought we'd throw that one out there as a bit of a.
It looks pretty. I jumped on the smart TV. We got a big old 70-inch TV, and I put YouTube on there, and yeah, geez, our big old heads look pretty good on a big TV
On the big screen.
Yeah, looks pretty and crisp, and yeah, I might have done a little bit of enhancing here and there with the
blemishes.
visuals. Yeah, but it come up a treat. I think we had 30 or 40 views, but hey, look, that's better
It's
than
better than three.
Yeah.
Yeah, bloody oath. So look, if you're out there, jump on the YouTube channel. It's on our website. Jump on and maybe have a look and see if you like the look of us as well as the sound of us. And like, share, subscribe, do all the good shit. Last week, lads, did we get around? Did you hit some balls around somewhere?
I did. I went out, just had 9 holes on Sunday afternoon. So we were
lazy Sunday.
preoccupied with my daughter's 5th birthday on Saturday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Eden. So that was, pretty much everything we did. And over the last probably 2 years, I've been holding this sort of thing over her head that when she asks to come to golf, she can't come to golf until she's 5.
Yeah, not allowed in the course unless
No.
you're 5.
So
That's true, Eden.
24 hours after she turned 5, she just expected. So I was sort of getting through Sunday, pretty casual, mowed the lawn, doing stuff, and then
Headphones on.
it was actually my wife. She's like, "Oh, well, I just thought you'd be going to golf today." And Eden heard it. And she's like, "Are we going to golf?" And I'm like, "Yep, okay,
Indeed.
sweet, let's do it." So we packed the buggy up and went out for 9 holes on Sunday afternoon, and then stopped in and had a quiet beverage overlooking.
Bowl of chips?
Overlooking, no, not for this one. That's 18 holes is a bowl of chips.
Copy.
9 holes is just a beverage. And we sat outside and watched The Mouth from the South, Mr. Rohan Dore 3-putt on 18. So it was very nice.
Oh,
It was a perfect afternoon.
Topped off your Sunday
Yeah, it
quite
was
nicely,
perfect.
didn't it?
You got out for a bash?
Yeah, I had a couple bashes. So we went out on
bash?
Friday. The black market was on. So jumped in a solid little group. We had Minwoo Shoal and his dad, Greg, jumped in with us. And I invited a friend of the show, Jackson Free, along. So for those that remember Jackson, he used to run our swing science program out of Vision Health. So been meaning to catch up since he left the facility to have a round or two of golf. And so that was the day. So didn't have a bad day out. I think I got the lowest gross.
Yeah, you pumped it.
Shot one over. And that was with a nasty little 4-putt on the 3rd and a 3-putt par on the 17th. On the same tier, just blasted the thing past it. So probably could have been deeper than one over, but it took me $100 or me $50, and yeah, I was quite happy with that. I think I got an NTP in there as well. So yeah, it was quite a fruitful day out. I think it paid for a box of Pro V1s for me at the pro shop. So
That's great. It's a bloody
not a bad day out. Yeah.
Ripper day out. I was supposed to play in that round, and I was out, stupid me, doing some exercise and training, doing all the good stuff you're supposed to do, and stepped on an uneven patch of my lawn and rolled the old ankle bone. And woke up to it's still swelled, which sucks ass. Hurt quite a bit, so I couldn't get out on the weekend, which devastated me. But it is what it is. We spent.
You managed to get out today, though.
Yeah, had a little bash early.
Early on, yeah.
Got out and got it done, and didn't hurt too bad. Just
Tested it. Yeah.
Just
We had a little trip coming up, so it was more of a tested trip than anything, wasn't it?
More of a test, yeah. You and me got a day on Friday coming up, which I'm looking forward to. So friends of the show, Sammy and Pez, invited us along, and we're going to go and have a little bash out at Gundy.
Yeah, right.
Have a little event down there. Maybe have a few lemonades afterwards. Who knows? Who knows? But enough about us. We want to give a shout out to you guys and the listeners. And we got a new listener this week, and he got in touch with me via our operations meeting that we had, and said, "I fucking like your episode. You told me to listen. I'm not a big fan of golf, but I'm a big fan of the banter." So, big shout out to Jack from Emerald. New listener and avid self-declared podcast fiend, and he reckons we've got what it takes.
Welcome, Jack.
Yeah, big old welcome. Big old welcome to Jack from Emerald.
Probably our very first listener from Emerald, I'd imagine.
Be up there. I think he's got a Starlink on his ute. That's because I don't think they get much reception up Emerald, mate.
Yes.
Do they? Shout out all
Disrespectful to the people of Emerald.
I was just kidding. I love it.
NBN was up there before it was in Toowoomba, mate.
Yeah. Plus, that's where my boss lives. So big shout out to the bosses up there. Review time. Do we want to jump into the reviews? Or have you guys got any shout outs you want to get out before we jump in? Well, the John Deere Classic. Brian Campbell won the 2025 John Deere Classic. That marks both his second PGA Tour win this year and second career win. Along with the title, he also earned $1.5 million prize money. It was a rainy, soggy final round in southern Illinois that started really as anyone's game. And all day long, there were numerous players, all within a few shots of the lead. With soft conditions from an inch of rain the night before, scores were all low. In the end, it culminated in a playoff between Brian Campbell and Emiliano Grillo, who both finished 18 under par for the tournament, with Campbell obviously getting the W. Boys, did we catch much of this one, and what did we think?
Yeah, little bits.
Yeah, it was hard. Like I got up nice and early on Sunday to try and watch it day 3, but they actually pulled all their starting times well early because they were expecting that rain coming through. So I think they were doing 3-man teams, front and back tee starts just to pump them through. So I literally woke up nice and early, 6:30 or something on Sunday, expecting to be able to have a cup of coffee and watch that, and it was all done and dusted. So I didn't get to see a great deal. Saw a little bit on Monday of the last 2 or 3 holes and then the playoff hole, but that was about it.
Yeah, I didn't manage to catch much of this at all with my Heckers weekend. Did you catch much of this one, Sim?
Oh, little bits. As Kingi said, it was hard to catch it live because of the timing and everything, and possibly the motivation to dial in super early for a mule event. But, it was pretty John Deere Classic. Typical.
It was just as you thought it would be. Yeah.
Similar to most of these events in between major season, especially 2 weeks before a major, where some of the big players aren't going to be there. It's all pretty tight, which makes it good viewing for most places. The second week in a row with a playoff to decide it, which is what you expect with these things.
I did hear some stats in around driver really didn't play a part. I think. Who won at Campbell was ranked like second last or third last in driving stats or something. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, so they stroke gain tee to green. He wasn't right up there, and he was actually gave 0.4 of a stroke back off the tee.
Off the tee, yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
so,
he putted pretty well apparently, or he did good things around the green.
Yeah, he did. He's solid in that regard. Data Golf do this new thing where they have like a little indicator that tells you what type of course we're playing or how everyone's tracking through the course, and it's like a scale, like a needle, and it goes up, and it's like bomb and gouge versus hit it straight being the opposite side. So it ended up being just a hit it straight course in the end. So
so it didn't matter if you
Brian
didn't take
Campbell is the hit it straight guy. He's
straight, but not very long. Yeah,
170 ball speed or something. I think he maxes out.
Yeah, it's pretty
low.
But that's his second win of the season. I
exactly
think, isn't it?
in a playoff. He beat your boy Gary Kigo in a playoff at the 3M Vedanta.
Yeah, right.
I believe, or one of them.
Another mule.
That was the one where he got the wicked bounce off the tree back into the fairway.
That's right. Yeah,
he went.
they went and had a beer for the tree. The old members bounce. I remember that one.
So good on him. Like,
Well, it's a perfect analogy for your horses for courses. Like, obviously, he's not going to do well at the bomb and gouge type of courses, but on these ones, it just goes to show you don't have to have that high 180s, early 190 ball speed to go and win it. Yeah, it's a mule event, like we said, but like a win's a win.
Oh, you still walk away with $1.5 million. So
yeah, like I'm happy to get called a mule with $1.5 million in the back pocket.
do that a couple of times a season. There's 3 schmil and fucking you're laughing. Couple of top 10s here and there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean,
He's
like,
guaranteed his card now for 5 years, hasn't he?
yeah, so he's
with
set
2
himself
wins.
up.
It is a fair while. Yep.
Yeah, he'd been on there for a bit. I mean, it's the way that I relate it to it's kind of like a curtain raiser to a curtain raiser. Like everyone wants to see the Genesis next week, like the Scottish. Everyone wants to see that, like because they know it's the curtain raiser to the Open. It's like the one before the big one, and this one's just kind of the one because it's on before the curtain raiser. So it's never going to gain a lot of traction, and we're probably not doing it justice. There was probably some really, really good golf play by Brian, but we didn't obviously catch a lot of it. We did catch a bit of Maxi Homer. He was doing some good things, like obviously not back to 2024 Masters fucking form in there, but he showed some signs. He showed enough to say that he's, you know, I'm not quite willing to say he's back and he's ready to roll, but he looked okay out there.
He still looks a bit shaky. It's like he doesn't look super confident. Like he gets there and he's like, oh, what do I do now? And it's just not a complete performance yet.
Yeah,
Like
there were
it's
definitely
good.
flashes though.
Yeah.
Weren't they?
Good
Like,
signs,
some of those
yeah.
up and downs he missed, especially towards the pointy end. That was reminiscent of kind of the last 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
But he was striping a few. There were a couple that he was absolutely pimping off the tee, and had some nice iron shots in as well. But yeah, just that kind of 5% that he was missing and putting himself in trouble and not being able to get himself out of trouble, especially on that last day. A couple of putts that I think he had a birdie putt on the 17th hole, which if he then birdied the 18th, like would have put him in a position to get into a playoff, and he missed a 6-footer or a 7-footer. Ended up, just with a little tap in par on the par 5 there. So, a few little rusty bits, but hey, good to see him turn around. Less pressure because he didn't have all the big boys there. But he was good early, which I think, like his first round was a good round, and then he didn't just fall off the face of the planet. He stuck around, and he probably could have been in the final group, except for a miss. I think he bogeyed the 18th on the third day. I saw a highlight of that, which kept him out of the final group. So whether that might have made a difference or not, who knows? But
he's still a little bit errant off the tee. I think he just needs to straighten that out. Like it's not a super long course. He just needed to be in the middle. A few more times. He was in the rough a fair bit, I thought so.
There were a couple little ducky hooks, getting a bit nervy there towards the end. 3, 4, 5 holes in. 3, 4 or 5 holes to go. But all of that top 2 or 3 groups, everyone was kind of sniping them here and there. So there was some nerves out there, I think.
Yeah.
Love it. Any other highlights from this one? There wasn't really that much.
Well, not much of a highlight, but more of a low light. So I just want to get up in front of all the chatter. The Simwu stable. So we did pick
on the front foot.
Yeah, we like being on the front foot because that's how we act with integrity and all that sort of stuff. So Davis Thompson, last year's winner. So we had just a bit of a skid mark on Sunday. We call it a Sunday skid mark. So he didn't really
Who hasn't
have a
had a skid mark
defecation.
on Sunday?
It wasn't really a defecation. He shot 1 over in the final round. He started, pretty much up there, 1 shot or on that same shot as everyone else in the lead, but he just didn't bring his best stuff. So it's not what we want for the Simwu stable. And, we look forward to him improving and hopefully have another go next week.
Just have a quiet word to him just about sort of that clutch and that, if you are going to be a part of the Simwu stable, you need to play good at the right times. And he really needs to work on that. But anyway, any other reviews from this week, lad, before we move on to the preview
just a little quick one on the in München in Germany.
Munchen the
Sprechen, Germany.
That's just what I did to my dinner.
The BMW International. So the European DB got up Dan Brown, not to be confused with the Middle Ridge Golf Club DB. So he got up.
They're not the same bloke.
No, they're not.
He lied to me.
He took the chocolates with 22 under. Jordan Smith second, 2 shots away at 20 under. And young Kazuma Kabori, third place, 18 under. So
Not of Ironhead's fame, of New Zealand fame.
No. Yeah, Kazuma Kabori of Order of Merit, getting his ticket onto the DB World Tour fame.
3rd place.
Is he in your stable?
Place. He is, absolutely. Star.
Yeah.
You can see him up there. I'm showing the boys the app, so he's got a star, so that means he's in my stable.
He's in the stable.
Yeah.
Kazuma Kabori.
Well done, Kazuma. Love to have you on the pod.
Good names.
Yeah, it is.
Like, that just rolled like it's just one of them. Boom. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Preview time. Let's review the. Let's preview the we just reviewed the curtain raiser of the curtain raiser. Let's preview the actual curtain raiser, the Genesis, the Scottish Open. Sim Wu, take it away, sir.
Righto, are you ready?
Oh, fucking edge of the seat. I paid for the whole thing. I'm only going to need the first 3 inches.
So do you know much about North Berwick?
Only what everyone tells me.
So, despite the railway arriving to North Berwick in 1850, the Industrial Revolution bypassed the town. In the late 19th century, saw North Berwick develop golfing and holiday facilities, and the town soon became a popular home for Edinburgh commuters and retirees. So, it's on the northern end of Scotland, I believe.
Northern.
And so more recently than 1850, there was a golf course that was designed there and redone by none other than Tom Doak of Barnbuckle Dunes fame.
Dokey.
That course is called the Renaissance Club, which is where we are this week for the Genesis Renaissance Open.
Scottish
Open. Scottish Open, righto. So we're looking at 2-inch primary rough, 5-inch main rough.
5 inches is a bit excessive.
But I think this
You don't
stuff,
need that much.
this stuff is that long, stringy stuff. So as we saw last year with Bobby Mack knifing Adam Scott in the back by getting that horrible relief of a sprinkler head in
In the
knee-deep
rough, deep rough.
Found-
Wispy rough. Yeah.
You can still get out of that stuff if you play your cards right. So it's a good course. I like watching this. I've liked watching it for since it's been back on the tour and a standard DP World Tour stop. So this is a duo. So this is PGA Tour. It's co-sanctioned with PGA Tour and DP World Tour.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Since last year, or maybe.
I think it was last year.
Yeah, last year they got together to try and beat up on live people. The greens will be sort of 11-ish, but they manage them very well. Like this is what they do in this part of the world. They manage them well depending on the wind, and they don't really know the wind until day of,
Till the wind
day
blows,
before. If the wind's going to pick up, they keep them. If it's wind's not going to pick up, they speed them up a bit. So that's sort of one of the defences that they have. So they're pretty good at doing that in that part of the world with the I think they're fescue greens. So they're like it's a different grass. So yeah, that's what they do.
A little bit more reactive, isn't it? And
Yeah.
quick turning, so they can dial it up and
Yeah,
down.
I think sort of week out they probably like have a fair idea, and maybe like 3 days out they're like, right, let's bake this bitch, or let's
hit it, yeah.
we'll keep it,
Settle it down a bit,
settle it down
so
a
they
bit,
don't blow off the
win
front
his-
of the.
win his
yeah.
perk.
Okay, what the fuck?
But there's some really good shots you see if you
Scottish.
if you were to look up highlights Renaissance Club. I think Adam Scott hit this driver off the deck into one of the holes and rolled it right up onto the green. You've got Rory's shot to win in 23, which was that like 3-iron or 2-iron or whatever it was out of the rough to get it up on 18 or 17.
Went out over the water and then back in. Is that the?
I don't think so. No,
18th?
it was on the left hand side, and he just hit this
Yeah, right.
perfect shot. And then you got Big Shot Bob doing his thing last year. So it is a really good one to watch. I think the Yanks like it. They've got 2 weeks in a row of coffee golf, they call it for them, which is what we get every week on the
All
PGA
the
Tour.
time.
But yeah, I really look forward to the Genesis Scottish Open in North Berwick at the Renaissance
It's a
Club.
pretty good time for us too. It's evening
it's
watching
nighttime
for
golf.
us, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so
So
it's typical DP World Tour golf for
yeah,
us.
good
which
like
is
tee off around 8-9 o'clock
perfect.
with the early, and that'll
Have a few
fire us up.
skewies after the rugby league, and you can
Perfect.
Fire us up to
straight
the
into
Open the following week.
love that. Love to hear it. Did you call him Big Shot Bob?
Big Shot Bob.
Yeah, shout out Robert Ory from the Lakers, other Big Shot Bob. If you know, you know. Kingman, who's playing? Who's there?
There's heaps.
Who's going to win it?
A
Talk to us.
tremendously impressive field, believe it or not. Including, so this is pretty interesting stat. All of the top 5 ranked golfers in the world are there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All of them.
Scotty, Rory, who's obviously a previous winner of this event, Xander Schauffele.
Is that with an
Did I
X?
pronounce that right? Yeah, Xander with an X. So he's won this as well. JT's there, and then Big C. Big C's rolling a new caddy, veteran Billy Foster, apparently. So he's Matty Fitz's ex, who left him at the start, or they parted ways at the start of this year. Funnily enough, I didn't know this. He'd actually caddied for Sevi back in the day, Ballesteros
Yeah, right.
as well.
Whoa.
So Big C's bringing out the big guns.
Big C.
After getting grilled about whether he's going to change caddies again, the answer is yes.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I am.
A couple of other notables. So, US Open winner JJ Spown, he's playing. And defending champ Robbie Mack, we mentioned him and the alleged cheating with the sprinkler head in the rough to beat Adam Scott here last year. Aberg's there as well. Straker is back. And Tommy Ladd is returning after his little heartbreaker over there at the Travellers. And interesting, Luke Clanton gets a sponsors exemption as well. Yeah. So they're him and one of his alumni as well from what is it, PGA Tour U or whatever it is.
Yep.
I can't remember. I did write it down. No, I didn't write it down. That was the problem.
And we got from the Aussie contingent, we got Elvis Smiley and Carl Phillips.
I'm going to say,
doing
Koala
their
Carl's
thing.
over there, isn't he? Yeah.
Also,
I
Elvis is in there as part of the DP.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. Oh, shout out. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know Elvis was there. That's cool.
Very good. How good. So not a bad little field there.
Who's
So
gonna feature in the sure thing? Like, who do we like? Who are we gonna put our hard earned on this week?
Top 5, we're looking. So Chef's paying $4.50 is the outright favourite. Rory's paying $9.
Ooh.
Big C's at 26. Tommy Lab at 23. I've got them back to frontwards. Ludwig's paying 31. Then Bobby Mack at 34. JT, a little sneaky one at 36. So that's kind of top 6 or 7. I don't count real good. So
What about Hatong Lee? Is he in your figuration?
no. Hang on.
Similar
No, he's not.
Stable fame.
No, definitely not. All right, sure thing with Adam King. We are at the Renaissance Club. So we're here for the Genesis Scottish Open. I have 2 bets this week around. We were pretty average last week, very average last week, in that we didn't get any and didn't even feature anywhere near getting close. Yeah, so that's always good because it means we're gearing up for the majors. Okay, we can't go into the majors on a 7 in a row run.
No.
So
you can't win them all.
we can get a decent win or 2 here to bolster the sports bet account before we do go into the Open next week. So I've got a created bet, which is a pretty good one to start with. So we've got any 2 of the Big C, Tommy Ladd or Sammy Burns to top 10 at $4.30.
Pretty decent.
Yeah, I think Sam Burns is the outlier there. I'd like to see Tommy and Big C go head to head. I reckon they'll probably make even top 5s. But we've kept the favourite top 20 multi as well.
Yeah, the bread and butter.
Yep. We got Rory, Tommy Ladd, Bobby Mack, and Ludwig Aberg at $14.02. Managed to get a sneaky little power play the shit out of it up to $15.74 for those 4 lads to come in the top 20. So hopefully Rory brings his A game because I think that's kind of, I'm putting some bit of faith on Rory, and he hasn't been real good so far for a little bit. So hopefully he's gearing up for the Open, which, whether he's heart's in it or not, we're about to find out. Sure thing with Adam King.
I can see him getting up for this one. I can see him, Rory, show a bit of ticker, a bit of fight, like he's due. I can see Tommy Ladd coming back. I think Heartbreak's going to... yeah, look, it's over. I think he's a pro athlete. He's probably done all he's needed to do to try and get over it. I reckon he's going to come out a bit better and a bit stronger. So those are probably the 2 main ones that stick out for me. Obviously, the fact they're from, Tommy Ladd is from the UK, Rory from Northern Ireland. But look, I think those 2 are probably the outliers. Like Sammy Burns just said it. What's he done lately?
He hasn't done a great deal, but has he got much history over there, mate? What did he feature in the Open or Scottish last year?
He hasn't actually. He's played there.
I honestly didn't want to go too deep into the. It was a created bet, as I said. So I'm probably putting more money on Big C and Tommy Ladd. But if Sammy sneaks his way in there and we get 3 of them, it doesn't make me any more money.
Yeah, copy. Who do you like, Simbo?
I'm just struggling to come up with a scenario in my head where Sebastian Soderberg doesn't come away with the win.
I'm struggling to, yeah, fair. Makes sense. Is he's obviously in your stable.
He's in my stable. Yeah.
Is there any other similar?
Connor Syme's never missed the cut.
Mates?
Connor Syme, DP World Tour fame, the Scot, he's never missed the cut, and he was T15 last year.
Is there cut markets? Is there like a to make the cut? I wouldn't mind seeing Koala Carl make the cut. I wouldn't mind that. A bit of Carl Phelps to it.
What was Old Bud's name?
Connor Syme.
Oh,
Thomas Dietrich's also never missed the cut.
Dietrich, I've heard him
Thomas.
a little bit. Are there any locals, any Scotsmen other than Bobby Mack? Is there any like sort of local knowledge?
Connor Syme.
He's Scot? Okay, cool. Any others, or is that just the 2 of them?
You got Grant Forrest, Ewan Ferguson.
Is Ewan spelled real funny?
No, E-W-E-N. Ewan.
The usual way. Like Yoin.
Yoin.
Yoin. Ewan Morgan.
Ewan Morgan. Yeah.
Signs doesn't feature in the make the
Righto.
cut, unfortunately.
Richie Ramsey is another Scot.
Richie Ramsey. That rolls off the
that's all I
tongue. Yeah, I like that. Righto. I'm just gonna see. There's not an incoming. No, he wasn't in there, was he? You just said that.
No. One other little preview.
Yeah,
to
gonna
go
say
here if you got one.
Hit us with it.
So there is an alternate field event. I'm not super concerned about that in Kentucky, I believe. But we also do have Live Golf is at Real Club Valderrama, which is in Andalusia in Spain.
Spain.
So this is probably I would say in regards to professional golf, it's probably one of my top 5 courses. So it's a Robert Trent Jones design. I think what I like most about it is it's very similar in that it's pretty tight and there's lots of overhanging trees and stuff. Very similar to what we get in Australia with sort of not public but not elite private courses. And I've really liked watching it as it was a DP World Tour event for some time, the Andalusia Masters, and then now it's gone to Live. So it'd be good to see the big boys over there trying their wares in preparation for the Open, which there's 16 of them.
We'll count them up before the in the green room before you got here. We're trying to
So it's
get a grasp.
Another good watch to be on a similar time to the Scottish.
To us, yeah. Bit of John Rahm action over there. Been
Bit of everything.
Spain, like
Bit of music in the background, shotgun start.
Yep.
Party hole probably.
Yep.
Maybe
Some tequila.
sangria.
Or is that Mexican?
Mariachis.
Sangria.
Yep.
Mariachi bands are Mexican, aren't they? They're not
Fireball.
Spanish.
Fireball.
We
Spice
we can make one of the PLP cup drinks, the old fireballs with pineapple cruiser. Oh,
Yep.
That'll light them up.
Put me down for that.
Well, that about wraps up the front side of things, boys. Anything else for us before we have a little break?
Nope.
Alrighty, well, stay with us and we'll be back right after this. It's a synth. Welcome back, everyone, to the Preferred Lives podcast. You've joined us at the halfway point, the turn. Proudly brought to you by our friends at Crush Organics. Keep your eyes peeled. There's a bit of content going around. I did a bit of a sneaky little advert for them, and I sent that through, and that's going to be released soon. So keep your eyes and ears peeled. You might see something. If you don't subscribe to them on Insta, you probably should. They have a lot of cool stuff that they post every now and again. And remember to use code PLP and get 40% off your order today. Now, boys, we're on the backline side of things, and here's where we'd usually do a PLP Cup team preview. We had 3 teams this week say they were going to get one into us, and we're 0 for 3, I believe. So Rowie from Rowie Rugby League, Dohes Flohes fame, failed to get his on. Word is he's still having a chat with someone from Monday. Once he's through that chat, he's going to send one through. Dyson Jack, their team was going to come through today. They were just going to copy Matt Wilkes and just sub their names in. I said, look, no, I'm not going to do that. You need to be a little bit original. Change some of the words. Haven't got that one. So if you're thinking, oh, no, I'll just wait. No, because just send it in, we'll read them. We really like doing the preview side of things, and it's going to help come Calcutta time on Saturday night. We can reveal, though, I had a bit of a chat with the sponsors. We are going to give away a prize for the Saturday night at the Coralbin Tavern, or whatever the name of the tavern is, the best on ground. So that'll be voted on by the PLP team. Just to give you an example, last year I think we nearly all agreed unanimously that it would have been one Brenton Fowler for owning the pool tables and being there until after close and drinking a few of us under the table and really letting his hair down.
I think Vinny Heed come in a strong second after running around chasing kangaroos, and then
he was strong
getting a lift
too.
home with on big Tommy Simpson's back, wasn't it? Big.
There was
So Tom.
If you've ever seen a big red kangaroo carry like a disabled marsupial on its back, like that's prime Vinny.
That's how Vinny got home.
Yeah. With an honourable mention to Freemos, whose eyes couldn't face the same way pre-dinner. So look, those are the type of things we want. You know, we want story, we want yarn, and we'll be giving away a prize. it's pretty decent price. And so try and get the best on ground on Saturday night. Don't go too crazy, otherwise if you try too hard, you'll lose points. But if you just
responsible drinking.
just be yourself, and send in your previews. We want to hear from you. Now, the back nine side of things. Steamer of the week. Going to start with you on this one, Simo.
Right. So I might have two, but I've got the first one is definitely there's a video going around at the moment on social medias. I believe Zaya Golf, however you want to pronounce it, was probably the first people to put it out there.
Ziri Golf.
Ziri.
I don't actually know, but yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it is
Golf. The Z
every now and then we get a golf course fight video that pops up that goes viral. This is probably the best golf course fight video that I've seen ever in my life.
Yeah.
So as it goes, there's a bit of a argy-bargy going on, yelling between people.
Pace of play issue, wasn't it?
Pace of play issue. I believe they let a guy go through, and then they wouldn't let someone go through. One of the guys was mouthing off. The other guy seemed like a bit of a pacifist. He was trying to break it all up, but one guy just wanted to keep going with it. But he did walk away up to the raised elevated tee box and looked like he was going to put his ball in the ground. But I think they were that inebriated that they couldn't even manage that properly. So.
Yeah, that's a prime example of what we don't want at
No.
that will lose your points at,
Yes.
at PLP Cup night.
And it looked like then he sort of turned around and started mouthing off a little bit heavier to the very tall, very large gentleman who was standing down there. So he ran at him. There was a bit of a push, and then old mate used his weight to push said drunkard into the tam.
It was almost like a trebuchet effect, wasn't it?
It was
Sort of like
perfect.
you
it was
loaded
beautiful.
up.
Then
Like
he
a
got
judo move.
he got back out and didn't want to.
So you know your judo well.
He didn't want to say enough was enough. He kept going, and then he copped probably 4 or 5 of the best square to the noggin with very good sound effects. I think that was probably, that just took it over the line from being a 9 to a 10. He was going pow pow every time he punched him. It was just timed so well.
Self-affection.
And then as it came out, a day or so or 24 hours later, that the gentleman that handed the beating out was actually an ex-NHL player. So fighting as a profession and also playing hockey in his spare time is probably not the type of people you want to pick on.
He didn't have to worry about slippery ice either. Did he lose in traction? He could just all sorts.
Like, oh, this is good. I don't have to throw my gloves off. I can just
long story short, steamer of the week to the fellow who picked a fight with an NHL player on the golf course.
There's heaps better people to pick a fight with than
There is.
Like he would have been 6'4", and I'd say at least $1.05, $1.10. And he was a big rig.
He's a big unit.
Shirt fronted and just jab. And the sound effects, I forgot about them until you said that. And they were good. So if you haven't seen that, we won't post it. But
Self-sound effects too. I
yeah,
do like
pow. What was that? Was that Step Brothers?
Yes.
Pow, bang.
What are you saying?
Kingi, have you got a steamer for us?
I
Sir?
do have a steamer. This is a little shout out to the boys down in New South Wales on a little golf and origin trip. We got a little photo through from Mitty D in the content chat. The Chocky Milkshake himself, Big Zach, wearing socks and thongs to a pub in New South Wales. It didn't just end there, though. He apparently wore them to the car park before he got changed at the Australian Golf Club as well. So probably got a few funny little looks there. What's our take on socks and thongs at a pub, number one, and then wearing said socks and thongs to the Australian Golf Club car park?
No drama with pub. No drama.
Socks and thongs to the pub.
Run your own race. Like if you're just in the public bar and you wanted to, me personally, I'm not a big fan. I wouldn't do it. But if the Chocky Milkshake, he's been known to shoulder charge fucking driveways. Like he's a little bit out there. He runs his own race, and I'm with that. Probably wouldn't have gone with the tracky sock thong look, pulling into the tracky dacks into the Australian. Though I probably would have might have put me good jeans on, or maybe some shoes.
I think
Thoughts?
all power to him. Like if you want to do that, if you want to wear socks and jandals to a pub, good on you. Rip in.
We might post
who
a
am I
photo.
to stop
That's
you?
pretty cool. Yeah,
Who am I
exactly.
to stop you?
Not to the Australian though.
It's car park. Like, you get out and put your shoes on if you're driving without your shoes.
There are certain clubs that you're not allowed to change your shoes in the car park. Not allowed to put your shoes on in the car park. And a lot of those top end ones, I'm not sure what the rules are around the Australian, but you have to wear, respectable clothes in, take them into the change room. You get a locker, and then you change your shoes in there so that you're not sitting in the back of car parks hopping around looking like a bit of a pleb with your thongs and your
hip
tracky
cramp.
dacks and your half a bare ass hanging out because your jocks come down when your tracky dacks come down.
I've got this image of Zach with his pants half down, pulling on a
Plumber's
fucking shoe, with his ass out, and then
Where's the first tee?
you just turn and go, what? And then hit one fucking 400.
I was going
in
to
the
say, he
guts.
probably shot 68 too.
Yeah, he probably did well. I don't have a steamer. We might move on to the Bunty Hunter of the Week, and I've got one. Just want to give a quick shout out to sponsor of the PLP Cup, Mr. Jack Wright from Build Right Constructions. Give those guys a call if you need anything done. I think they're actually building Ushy's house as we speak. So big shout out to them. And Jackie managed to, I think I want to call him Robin Hood because he was out there. He was sort of sniping the trees out there today. He was very good. He probably hit out of the 487 trees that are on the course, 423 of them got hit today by Jack. So he started very well. He didn't manage to hit a single one on the front. On the first hole, but then the poor fella just couldn't quite avoid the trees and managed to hit almost every single one. So big shout out to Jackie Boy and a big thank you for sponsoring the PLP Cup. You boys have a Bunty Hunter of the Week. I know you've got a ripper. Do you have one before we move on?
I am
to
Buntyless today.
Buntyless.
Yep.
Yeah, interesting. Well,
I'll cover your Bunty because we've
Thanks.
got an absolute banger here. I mentioned Black Marker event we played on Friday with Jackson. So we're playing pretty well. We had a pretty decent round going. He had a couple of awesome drives. He's got this 7-wood, so a bit little flashback to Ashi's 7-wood, so 7 heaven. And he pimps this thing. It's a good 220, 230, high, drop and stop. He pulls it out off the black markers, obviously on the 16th. So perfect number for it. I've hit my 4-iron down just down to the corner, got a really good piece of it, and he's thought, yep, that's my number, no worries. Hits this thing, pipes it just onto the right edge, and we think that's money. Like, none of us saw it drop down, but we thought on the line that it was on, no chance. That's not awesome. Go down, see my ball, have a bit of a search around. Oh, have a bit of a look. End up, it must have clipped the gum tree and jumped itself back a little bit. So she's driven right back. I think we had 160, 170 in around the pine tree.
kind of a thing.
So he pulls out an iron of some description, says he gets it really well, hits it, just cuts that corner again, clips the second pine tree. I think, oh, that's all right. Like, it'll bleed its way up there. You'll be at the edge of the green there with a nice little flop shot option up and over. I'm about 120 out, proceed to fan one and miss on the right edge as
Same
well.
side.
Yeah. So we drive down, find my ball. There's a lot of leaves there because there's been a fair bit of weather and wind and a lot of leaves blown off trees, obviously. Found mine, couldn't find his. I'm looking around. There's a ball sitting behind, like underneath the first pine tree. So he starts walking back thinking that must be it. On his way there, he looks up into the second pine tree and here's his ball sitting maybe 3 foot above his head height. And he's kind of having a look and he's like, there's a fucking ball up here. I said, you definitely got past the first one. That's got to be it. Identifies it so I can see his green line on it. Yep, no worries. He has a lob wedge in his hand. Proceeds to Roger Federer serve the shit out of this thing. And I'm like, mate, I'll get you a wood or something with a nice square face, flat face. He goes, no, this one will be right. Proceeds to tomahawk this thing from standing, didn't have to jump or anything. Tomahawks, Roger Federer's it, and just missed the top of the green. Bleeds itself back down, mega flop up, drop in the putt for a sneaky little bogey, I think, in there, a double bogey. But anyway, Roger Federer did this thing. Like, literally.
Pete Sampras.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Overhead shot with a
I don't think
lob
I've ever
wedge.
seen that before.
And this thing's gone 40 metres, like dead straight, and was really close to being awesome. and then pulls out a mega flop after that. So yeah, that was
Holy
our
fuck.
Bunty Hunter of the week. I wasn't quick enough to get my camera because I had to flop mine up, and then I literally had
Turn around
little
and what's going
oh
on?
no, I had a 6-inch tap in, so I went up there to see where it was. I'll go tap that in, turn around, and here he is. Oh, there's my ball here.
Oh, yeah, fucking sock.
Yeah, second fault.
Fold.
Yeah.
Well done.
Led first service.
Very
Fuck.
Wimbledon of him. to
Yeah,
play
yeah,
that
right.
shot.
It's on cue. Yeah, shout out Jacko. I want to give a quick shout out just while we're on the frame to Carl, Mr. Harvey today. I'll tell you what, we were playing 6B it was, the little par 3 out the back there, and me, Jack, Dice, and Carl were all sitting. We've all hit our shots. Believe it or not, I hit the green. I didn't hit the house that was 100 metres behind. It actually stuck the green today. Very, very excited on that. And Carl comes up. We've all had a hit. So me, Jack, and Dice, we're all standing behind Carl. And Carl pipes this little lob wedge in the air. And we're like, oh, that was crisp. And it's track and flag. And we're like, oh, fucking hang on. This could slam dunk here. Like, this is on. It lands just behind the pin on the top of the ridge. And I'm like, that gets a little bit of raz. Like that's good. And it started and it rolled down the hill. And all of us, not a breath of wet. The grounds crew were laying out the ropes for the practice fucking facility. They all stopped. We all stopped, and everyone just went silent watching this thing. And it's track and hole the whole way. At the end, it just took a little left turn. It would have missed by a fucking bee's dick, and then kept rolling. It was maybe 15 centimeters away from the hole, but fuck me, there was a moment there where we thought we've just witnessed a fucking hole, and everyone. And it just missed the poor bastard. So yeah, big shout out to Carl, who also had to play one of the more obscure shots I saw today on hole number 2. Managed to just get over the bunker, but right into the top lip on 2. And because of where it was, he couldn't have a right hand swing at it, so he had to go and stand behind and do the old backhand chip. But he had to chip it like up through the fringe. It was the fucking, and he managed to do it, which is a credit to him. But yeah, there was some really good golf out there by Mr. Harvey today. So big shout out to him. Now everyone's favourite segment we're going to jump into Rowies Rugby League. I did have a intro done up for that and realised that it didn't quite work out as well as I recorded it. So I had to delete it, but yeah, stay tuned. It is coming. Let's start off. Let's give our very own M. Dunbar a bit of a phone call. He's down there live from State of Origin in the Blatchies Blue section. So we're going to try and get him on the line, and we're going to have a bit of a yarn to him and see what he's up to, because it's not every day we've got a man on the ground at State of Origin.
Oh, hang on. Volume. How come I can't hear? Go up.
Hello?
Says it's going through that. What's that?
That's not on. We call you back.
The wonders of modern technology.
No, we can cut it out anyway.
It's not working. Volume isn't working. Hang on. Let me detach. Hang on. Move up.
Just press your speaker button. That's working.
Your thing with Adam King Blues 13 plus.
Fucking put the house on it.
Look at the state of him. He's got the RSL tan on.
It's gone exactly as planned. I don't think he can hear us.
He can't hear a word we're saying.
Up the Blues. All right, the boys are charging by the looks of it. Right, so
All right. Well, that may not have worked the greatest way, but I think what we get out of that is Queensland are in a bit of strife, judging by the direction of eyes that were going in at Mitty Dunbar. Then there was one up, one down. It was all over the show, but the boys look like they're having a pretty good time there.
That's a good sign for a two-half effort from New South Wales. Running both ways. Mitchie's eyes are running both ways already, so
On the
I think it's an omen.
And it's Hacky with an early crow of New South Wales 13 plus. Interesting.
It's impossible for Queensland to
No,
win,
we
mate.
can't win.
We can't.
We can't win it.
No.
It can't happen.
Did that last
Surely
time. Come
not.
on.
Surely not. Can't happen. Anyway, Rollers Rugby League. Let's jump into the tipping and Supercoach side of things. Then we'll give our little tips for a little game going on tonight that Mitchy's out at the moment. Simu, do you want to take it away with the tipping? You had a close to perfect round this week.
Mate, first of all, fuck the Tigers. And second of all, yes, I did come one tip off my second perfect round in a row, which would have been a first for me because I'm generally pretty horrible at this stuff. But there was a bunch of us that got 4 out of 5 for the round, which was Inglesby Raider. He needed that to keep me at bay because I'm hunting him. I'm right behind him, one tip behind him, as is Mitty, and the Erk, who only got 3 though, so they missed a tip. So I've sort of jumped up above, in line with those guys, but I have a superior for and against with my tip the margin. Thank you.
That was big. Sorry, I meant to
Clifton
mute.
Butch, Tommy B, Harry Potsmoker all got 4, and yeah, everyone else was either 3 or 2. So we still got the Inglesby Raider leading on 80. Then there is a bit of a bunch of us on 79. And yeah, it goes back down to Crime Scene at the base, who has stopped tipping. So commiserations to Crime Scene.
Poor bugger.
It's fatal.
It is fatal.
Fatal homicide.
We moved then across into what would have been my other steamer of the week. Unfortunately, I've had a bit of a mare with the Supercoach this week.
What's happened?
I only had 2 players in my team,
Oh dear.
which is generally not what you're going to try and do for your Supercoach team. So I ended up
Hot
with,
tip: don't do that.
so 94 points is probably not going to get you the chocolates in Supercoach, from what I
Do you want to give a
understand.
shout out to the boys that did score for you though? Like, who were the players? Who did you have?
That's
Looked like a Bailey Hayward bid.
That's a really good question. So I believe in my team I had
There's a lot
Hayward.
of DMPs. It
But
was Hayward.
Hayward,
Yeah,
yeah.
I told you about Hayward.
Hayward and
It's bad when you got to look for the
no
points.
one else. Maybe someone on my bench, but yeah, it wasn't a lot of people. So a lot of DNPs, too many DNPs to be making any moves on the PLP Cup board. So I have dropped 3 spots down to 21st out of 24 with that showing. So Cat Paragon somehow still got over 1,000 points. You bastard.
Don't know how they do it.
And Stewie, the Canberra Killers, Better Than Lego, and Wong Team Maker White wrapping up the top 5. Then with regards to people in the podcast, the Magic Middies are 18th, Kingies Killers are 20th, the Kaku Kings are 21st. Maybe you must be. Reese's Reptiles are 10th.
Yeah, we had
you
had an okay round. I can
Okay,
pick players better than I can pick teams apparently because I'm
Look
fucking
at
dead
you.
last in the tipping.
That's really good. No, I'm proud of you. That's
Thanks,
good.
mate.
Yep, well done.
Thanks. Yeah, you've thrown me with that.
Well, we do have one other major rugby league thing going on tonight, Nick. So how about you tell me about that?
Major rugby league. Are we talking about new Perth team? No. State of Origin. The decider with the game that Queensland absolutely can't win.
Was that on tonight?
I think so. Yeah.
They can't win it even with Big Pappy coming in,
It would be good, and it's
but they can't do it. Not even
No.
with Big Pappy.
Well, I mean, he's only ever lost one game 3,
Yeah.
Big Papping, out of 12. But, you know.
When was that?
The game we lost, round 3, with him playing. I don't know when that was.
yeah, it was a while ago. It was 4.5 years ago.
Oh, he hasn't played for Queensland.
No.
No, he hasn't played in a game 3
Three.
that we've lost.
So he didn't play last year when you lost at Suncorp in
No,
game 3.
no,
No.
he's
Okay.
been out for a couple
No,
of
it
years.
wasn't
Yeah.
him.
That
I tell you
wasn't him.
what'd be the one thing that I quite like about Big Papa being back. Obviously, I'm a Raiders fan. Love seeing the big fella and his flowing hair. But imagine getting told like, look, this is probably going to be last Origin for real this time. Just go out and give me 15 minutes of fucking grouse. Just go out there and be grouse for 15 minutes. Go and bash fuck out of everyone. Run as hard as you can. Tackle harder. And I think it's a scary proposition. But look. It's going to be pretty tough. It's going to be pretty tough for the boys. Game 3 in Sydney. Bletchley's Blues, as indicated by Mitchy and the Chalky Milkshake, like parochial Blues crowd. We can't possibly win, Simwu.
Well, I've been talking to Rowie. He's been, chomping at the bit all week about Tino, being a Gold Coast Titans fanatic himself.
Titan, day one member, I'm pretty sure.
He is day one. So
Chris
Foundation member.
He's a Chris Walker specialist back in the day.
He's got Tino down as man of the match and getting the medal. So he won't stop talking about him. So I'm keen on that as well. Keen on a bit of that action.
He's also got real strong thoughts about Utu Ikemanu in over Kaloa-Matangi. Like, he's got some strong thoughts about that. So
Yeah, but he also doesn't let it impact his judgment because he's a big Queenslander.
clever.
But
Clever.
yeah.
That's why we like him.
Yep.
Your tip for tonight?
Apparently New South Wales 13 plus. Sure thing with Adam King, according to the Chalky Milkshake himself, live from the Blatchies.
I like it. Our man on the ground. Simwa, your tip for the night? Maybe throw us a try scorer in there.
Look, I would love to think
Anytime.
Big Pappy gets a try. He's done it in these when he broke the record for Canberra and kicked a goal, and you'd love to think that he would grab one on his return to glory. You could nearly even have that return to glory from whoever did it at the golf. Was it Tiger when he won his last major?
The call.
Yeah, the call. We could probably even voice that over. But yeah.
Yeah. Good. So you
New South Wales 13 plus, though. Yeah, we can't win. Not possible.
can't win. 30 plus. I didn't get a try scorer for you. You and
Latrell, is he playing?
he is.
Lateral.
Where is he? Is he
He's
on a wing?
Surely you take him
He's on
Brian.
Shibasaki's side.
I'd even take Brian. Brian's going to score. Like he
To-oh.
does. Yeah, he just scores.
That actually reminds me, like, not a lot of people, everyone was asking me, what's the Shibasaki? So, Queensland have a centre, Gurmat Shibasaki, and he's got a goatee, and it's fierce.
The shivers,
And you guys have got a bet on
apparently.
about growing a Shibasaki and around Patrick Reed making the
Ryder Cup team.
Ryder Cup team.
We
So
do.
there was a lot of confusion around it. So if Patrick Reed gets in the team, you've got to grow a goatee.
Yeah.
Patrick Reed is
This is
out.
the bet that you made for us, though,
You,
by the
yeah,
way.
you made this bet.
Yeah, it was,
Oh,
You-
we'll check the tape.
let's
Yeah,
I've
check
got the tape.
Yeah, check the
and
tape,
if
please.
he doesn't, you've got to grow the Shibbers.
Apparently.
Yeah, we've got to have it for the Ryder Cup week.
Apparently.
Yeah, cool. No, just there was a little bit of confusion about that mostly on my
I
part.
think there's still confusion. You would he made the bet. It was definitely you because I don't know who Shipper Chucky.
It was my idea to throw down the goatee.
Yeah,
as
right.
the-
Right,
as the-
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
As the,
Right, so then
the terms of the bet.
We could have
Yeah.
a gentleman's agreement and both pull out of it, then that'd be fine because we didn't make the bet. Sweet.
You pussy fucks.
I'm in. I'm fucking in because there's no way Paddy Reed's making
Shibbers.
making the
That's what
right.
I'm thinking about. I'm like,
Gentleman's
man.
agreement. Can we be gentlemen, please? My tip tonight is going to be, I'm going to put a try scorer and I'm going to put in Xavier Coates. I'm going to go pretty stock standard, or if you want a bit of value, go Cape Well.
Okay.
There I said
Well, we
it.
scored
But
last
Queensland
round,
can't
didn't we?
possibly win.
Nah, not at all.
The best team the Blues have ever had in the history of the game, coming up against just a bunch of Aussie battlers. So
God, you're a pair of wankers. Fuck.
I'm just really looking forward to watching some football and then getting the
just crying.
It's been a couple of good games. It's
been
been
rippers, yeah.
it's
As
been
long-
it's
as long
been a
as
good
it's a good
series. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's a good game, and hopefully Ashley Klein doesn't wear his Queensland jersey underneath his.
doesn't blow the pee out
Yeah,
of it.
just let the boys play. Let the boys play.
Put it in his pocket.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
13 penalties to nil first half. Yeah. 9.
There's
No,
nine.
wasn't it?
There's 9, and they're all warranted.
Yeah.
Mm.
Elbow and
Elbow and eye
Yeah, there was a
gouging
couple that
us,
were
yeah.
warranted. Don't get me wrong.
But yeah, how's crowding in the ruck? Can someone explain that to me? Anyway, ask Rowie actually. Let's get Rowie on the phone. Ask him about crowding.
we don't have the time.
Yeah. That's all we do have time for. Does anyone else have?
I do have a little shout out. So Speedy's getting married.
The fast man.
Yeah, when everyone's listening to this, he will be married. So
He'll
big
be-
shout out to Adam and to Sarah as well. Getting hitched on Thursday, which will be what's the date tomorrow?
Are we allowed to call him
Night.
Fasty? Is
Will
he
be
going to
tomorrow.
take her?
Today's the
her
9th.
last name, I heard.
Today's the 9th.
Yep.
So tomorrow will be the 10th.
The 10th.
Yep. So happy wedding.
Happy wedding, mate.
There are a couple couple of poms flying in over this
I did
week.
see some stuff on social
Yeah,
media
saw-
about them
saw some socials.
struggling to cut some wood.
Yeah, chopping wood and then
Yeah, they're doing the English way.
driving bits and pieces around. So, yeah, big shout out to Fasty. Looking forward to having him back on the pod, and he can tell us all about the wedding that he didn't invite us to.
Yeah, thanks for the invite. I must have got lost. Maybe I didn't give him the address. Are we going to call him Fasty? I heard he's going to take her last name. So, can we call
Adam
him Fasty?
Crossley.
He might be Crossy or the Cross Dog or something. You can
We could have a hybrid name,
Yeah.
like Speedy Cross.
Speed Cross. I like that.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
Okay.
All right. Well, if you're a team captain or you're in a team for the PLP Cup, send in your team previews. We want to do a couple next week.
Jump onto YouTube. I'll put this little episode up there as well. So over the weekend, jump
Visual.
on, have a look.
I'm going to start looking at the camera now. This is a new medium for us. New medium. Anyways, if you can't get out of it, get into it, and don't put sugar in your coffee.
My hat's off to y'all. Thanks a lot.